Deep into the eyes, read them like a book. Trapped inside a prison, gotta free them like a crook. Make off with the loot, made off for the joke. Treated like these cowards never needed what we took, and we repeat it like a hook. Caught in the deep, come back like Wheezy. Card 3, sensation. Wait, then pause the beat. Eyes don't lie, truth still hard to see. They're begging me to show them, they're saying that I owe them, but I'll never give it up. Not for you, not for no one. Foreign ride, touring, soaring, open road, exploring.
Yeah, let's go. Welcome to the show. This is Smoke the Competition. I'm your host, Eric Sojash. Thank you for checking us out. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. You can follow us on Twitter at Sojash Sports. In today's episode, we're jumping into Week 11 of the NFL. I want to talk about point spread picks on every game this weekend. We're going to talk about my best bets, 4 games I want to break down, help you win some money, as well as some fantasy football tips. We're also going to break down that Monday Night Football showdown, Super Bowl rematch between my Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to talk about the best teams in the NFL. Are the Eagles the best team with the best record right now? Let's see. Either way, stay tuned for a great show. Sit back, relax. It's NFL Week 11. Smoke the Competition. Let's go. First game I want to break down is between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland comes in as 2.5-point favorites, even though they're not going to be with their star quarterback, Deshaun Watson, who's been put on IR for the year. They got a rookie 5th-round pick, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, starting. For that reason, I'm a little nervous. I got to ride with TJ Watt and those Steelers defense. They should be able to get after Dorian Thompson all Sunday long. It's going to be a rough day, very low-scoring matchup. I'm laying my 2.5 points on the Steelers on the road to get the victory. Next up, we got the Chicago Bears taking on their division rival Detroit Lions. Lions come in as 7.5-point favorites at home. Chicago is getting their star quarterback back, which should be a boost to the offense. Justin Fields is set to return. Even with the return of Fields, though, I think Detroit's on another tier from Chicago. They are one of the best teams in the NFC, and they're shooting for that top spot. They're not going to have a letdown on Sunday. I'm laying my 7.5 points on Detroit to get the win at home. Next up, we got the LA Chargers traveling to Lambeau Field to take on those Green Bay Packers. This should be a bigger line in my opinion. The LA Chargers are a much better team than the Green Bay Packers are at this point. Justin Herbert is a much better quarterback than Jordan Love. However, the Packers are stifling on defense, especially at home, and the Chargers do have a tendency to blow games, especially against opponents that they should win. With all that said, I'm still going with the Chargers here. They are the superior team with superior talent. I'll take the 3 points on the road to get the win. Next up, I got the Miami Dolphins hosting those Las Vegas Raiders. This is a huge line, ladies and gentlemen. 13.5 points for the Dolphins here. And I get it. The Raiders have a rookie head coach, rookie quarterback. They're coming off some inspiring victories over the Giants and the Jets. However, those teams are not what the Miami Dolphins are. Dolphins are a high potent offense that are getting back one of their top running backs in Devon Achane. I'm laying the 13.5 points on the Dolphins to get the job done at home. They should be able to get this lead by half. Next up, we got those Washington Commanders hosting the New York Giants. Washington comes in as 8.5-point favorites against their division rival. This is all due to the injuries over in New York. They have a plethora of injuries, especially at the quarterback position. For that reason, I just can't put any money on that team. They could keep the game close in the first half. Their defense has played beyond expectations. By the end of this game, they're not going to be able to move the ball and score enough points. I'm laying the 8.5 on Washington and laying it comfortable. Next up, we got another huge line when the Dallas Cowboys are set to take on the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. Dallas has been a team on a roll, especially when they meet bottom feeder teams. And unfortunately, Carolina this year is one of those bottom feeders. So Dallas should have no problems rolling here. Offense, defense, and special teams are clicking. On the other side, Bryce Young is still getting acclimated, struggling every week here. I don't see him having any shot against Micah Parsons in this defense. I'm laying a 10.5 on Dallas to get the road victory. Keep on rolling. Next up, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the Tennessee Titans. This should be a good matchup. Great division rivals. Both teams are here vying for the playoffs. Jacksonville's still trying to hold on to that division lead and win that division. And the Houston Texans are right up their butts. This should be a really good game with Tennessee looking to spoil them. But 6.5 is not too much to lay on Trevor Lawrence in this offense. They need to get clicking. They got to get things going in the right direction. I think they do this week. Get back on track. So I'll lay the 6.5, even though King Henry does have a history of running all over these Jets. Next up, I got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Houston Texans. This is a low-key shootout. getting ready to take place over there in Houston. I believe these two quarterbacks are firepower waiting to happen. Two young stallions. We got CJ Stroud leading his Houston Texans there, and we got the return of Kyler Murray over in Arizona. Kyler did look good in his first game back. I think he'll improve from there. For that reason, I'm going to lay my 5.5 points on the underdog Cardinals to keep the game close. I think Houston will win the game, but the Cardinals could get a late score to spoil any type of spread or blowout. So I'll roll with Kyler plus 5.5. I'm going over to another game with a huge line. We got the San Francisco 49ers hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. San Fran comes in as 11.5 point favorites at home here. They are a much superior team. They did look good last weekend, got all their firepower back. The full Avenger squad is intact. When that team is clicking, there's not much that anyone can do. I believe they're probably the best team in the NFL when they're at full strength. For that reason, I'll take the 49ers minus 11.5. Bake Show has been pretty good. Surprising upswing over there in Tampa. I got to give a shout out to Baker for what he's done so far, but this is going to be too big of a task for him. Lay your money on the 49ers to get the win. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills set to take on their division rival New York Jets. This should be a heck of a matchup. Both teams are fighting for that playoff spot. Both teams still think they have a shot. Even though Buffalo has been sliding lately, I do think they'll be able to bounce back. This is a division rival they lost to earlier in the season. So look at Buffalo. They look at this game as a must win. I'll take Buffalo minus 7 behind Josh Allen having one of his better performances. Speaking of a team looking to bounce back from an early season loss, we've got the Seattle Seahawks taking on the LA Rams in LA. Early on in the season, LA surprised everyone, including Seattle, by beating them in their house. I think Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, and the rest of that Seahawks offense is going to feel like this is a must win. They don't want to blow that back to back, go 2 division losses this season to the Rams. For that reason, I'm taking it 2.5 points on the underdog Seahawks on the road. I think they'll be able to get to Matthew Stafford enough defensively and make enough plays offensively to pull off the win. Hopping over to the Sunday Night Football game, we got the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Denver to take on the Denver Broncos. Let's ride. Russell Wilson, Sean Payton, they seem to have turned the fortunes around for Denver this season with 2 massive victories, one over the Kansas City Chiefs, followed that up with another victory over the Buffalo Bills. Nobody saw those victories coming this season for Denver. Because of that, I'm going to ride with Denver on this. Originally, I was going with Minnesota in the hot hand. Josh Dobbs is cooking right now. But what Russ is doing, what the defense has been doing, and Sean Payton calling the game, I'm going to go with the veteran team here. I think Denver found something. I'll lay my 2.5 points on Denver to get the home victory. Last but not least, the Monday Night Football special, Super Bowl rematch. Jalen Hurts takes on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. They come in as 2.5 point favorites. This should be a hell of a matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams are coming off bye weeks, a little extra time to prepare for the game. We all know Andy Reid is amazing coming out of a bye. So this should be a very special game with a lot of trick plays, some big plays on both sides of the ball. I can't wait to see this game. I'm laying my 2.5 points on the Eagles, the underdog to get the victory here, go into Kansas City, shock everybody, and steal a victory in Arrowhead. I think the Eagles have a little bit of a salty taste in their mouth from that Super Bowl. Travis Kelce needs to get his first L going against Jason. Jason, unfortunately, hasn't beaten Travis or the Kansas City Chiefs yet in his career. So I'm going to go with the Eagles. They get their first win on Monday Night Football. All right, let's check out my best bet this week. I'm going to break down 4 games that I really like. Hopefully we hit on these and we can win some money. Recapping my Week 11 best bets. First up, we got the LA Chargers at -3 over the Packers. Next up, I'm taking the Washington Commanders -8.5 over their division rival New York Giants. Third one, another big line here, Dallas Cowboys -10.5. Should stomp those Carolina Panthers. Last but not least, I'm rolling with the Miami Dolphins at -13.5 to beat up on those Raiders. Let's go. These are Week 11 best bets. Let's make some money.
That's it for today's episode. Thank you for joining us. Give us a follow. Once again, subscribe to the channel. I'm Eric Sojash. Peace, love. Let's continue to smoke the competition.
Deep into the eyes, read them like a book. Trapped inside a prison, gotta free them like a crook. Make off with the loot, made off for the joke. Treated like these cowards never needed what we took, and we repeat it like a hook. Caught in the deep, come back like Weezy. The card 3, sensation. Wait, then pause the beat. Eyes don't lie, truth still hard to see. They're begging me to show them, they're saying that I owe them, but I'll never give it up. Not for you, not for no one. Foreign ride, touring, soaring, open road, exploring.